Okay, call this Village of Greenhills Council meeting to order for January 24th, 2023. Clerk, call the roll.
Mr. Coulter?
Here.
Ms. Hermes?
Here.
Usmanoglu? Here. Ms. Walton?
Here.
Mr. Lee?
Here.
And Mayor Moore.
Here.
And Ms. Hudson is absent.
Right,
Excuse absent.
yes. Okay, we have a prayer by Maria Walford.
Lord, we ask you to send your spirit of servanthood upon all of us gathered here this evening to do your work for the benefit of all in our community and village. We ask you to bless our elected and appointed officials so they may deliberate with wisdom and act with courage. Bless the members of our community who come here to speak before council so they state their cause with honesty and humility. Lord, we ask you to bless us all, that everything that we do here tonight will move you to welcome us one day into your kingdom as good and faithful servants. Lord, teach us to be generous in listening so we may understand others' points of view. We ask this in the name of our brother Jesus. Amen.
Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we've got the minutes of the previous council meetings, December the 20th, 2022, and the council meeting January 10th, 2023. If there are no corrections to the minutes, I'll have them stand as approved. Okay. Public presentation, preservation of life, to Officer Blake Mayberry. Chief.
Short fellow here is standing next to me, and I wanted to tell you a little bit in general about Blake before we get into the specifics of not one, but two awards that he's going to receive tonight. While most of us are sleeping, Blake is the guy that knows where every car in the village is parked, what doors are locked, what doors aren't locked, who's supposed to be where. He's the guy that passes out a lot of what we call blue door hangers that tell people, gosh, you forgot and left your door unlocked, or you left your garage door up. This is the kind of guy that you want out at night that protects us while we sleep, because he's very diligent in his job and he does it well. And I'm going to give you two examples of that. The first, which is not the preservation of life, this is something else that Blake was responsible for on the 28th of December. And there was a pursuit that was initiated on a stolen car. Springfield Township officers joined in this pursuit, and the vehicle began traveling northbound on Winton Road from Gallup. The vehicle speeds were up to 80 miles an hour. So the vehicle was continuing northbound on Winton, and it came into Greenhills. Sergeant Patton, who's in the back of the room, was on duty at the time, and he authorized the use of stop sticks. Any of you who have followed any kind of news about policing know how dangerous it is to deploy those. In fact, in nearby Springdale, it cost an officer her life. Well, Officer Mayberry parked his marked cruiser alongside Winton Road. He notified the communications center immediately, and this is all while this car's coming our way at 80 miles an hour, that he had stop sticks ready to deploy. The units followed the vehicle, confirmed that they were aware of the location of the stop sticks. And in Officer Mayberry's own words, he said, I observed the suspect vehicle traveling northbound, Winton, passing Farragut. I deployed stop sticks. The deployment was successful, striking the tires of the suspect's vehicle. The stop sticks were immediately removed from the roadway prior to the pursuing cruisers crossing, also at about 80 miles an hour. I checked the roadway and surrounding areas for spikes, none were located. These stop sticks were taken to the PD. Sergeant Patton, who is Officer Mayberry's immediate supervisor, wrote this to him. I just wanted to say outstanding work tonight. Your assistance with the mutual aid call for a confirmed stolen vehicle pursued by Springfield Township in and out of Greenhills was outstanding. Deployment of stop stop sticks is not easy, but you did an excellent job deploying them and removing them quickly. It was with your assistance that the 2 fleeing suspects were apprehended and charged. Nice work. And so, award number 1 is from the manufacturers of stop sticks. It's a uniform ribbon that you can wear and a combination of stop sticks. Now we'll get on to the one that we actually changed tonight. Sometimes in the middle of the night, things happen that not all of us like to deal with, and one such call came in at 2:30 in the morning overnight on January 10th. And Officer Mayberry reported that he was dispatched from Medic 43 with overdosing an unconscious patient. And he writes, I arrived on scene and was advised that they had already given him 2 Narcans with no effect. As I started with sternum rubs, the patient began snoring. Using departmental issued Narcan, I administered 1 dose, 4 milligrams, into the patient's right nostril and resumed sternum rubs and yelling the patient's name. I administered another dose, 4 milligrams of Narcan, into the patient's left nostril and resumed sternum rubs. A few seconds later, the patient was able to sit up. When the patient began coming to, Officer Mayberry had to remove a weapon, a knife, from the vehicle and a tightly rolled up $1 bill and a small baggie of a white crystallized substance. After all this was over, Officer Mayberry had the presence of mind to talk with the victim's family members and urged them to get the patient interested in treatment options. So there's no doubt in any of our minds as the command staff reviewed this that Officer Mayberry's actions and quick-witted responses saved this person's life. So upon that review, Blake, this is the Greenhills Police Department Preservation of Life Award that's awarded to you for taking action that directly resulted in the saving of another person's life on January 10th, 2023, and acting in accordance with the highest ideals of professional service. Your actions reflected outstanding police work, displaying initiative, capability, and attention to duty that earned the respect and admiration of your colleagues and the citizens of our community. This is awarded the 24th day of January, the year of our Lord 2023, by David B. Moore, the Mayor of Greenhills, Yvonne Kovac, our Municipal Manager, and by my office. Blake, congratulations, sir.
Blake?
Yes.
Shake your hand. Thanks.
so much.
Also writes wonderful reports. Really good. It's amazing.
Congratulations.
Very, very proud of you. Good job. All right. The next presentation we have is by Jennifer Weichert from the Public Library. We have no awards for Jennifer other than just thanks for keeping up the good work at the library.
Well, thank you for letting me come and just give you guys a quick update. As always, we're still open in the White Community Building. We're around back, so if you're in any doubt of where we are, just come up between the pool, heading towards Malloy's, and just keep coming to the far end, and you'll be able to see our big red book drop. And you can come in doors 10, 11, or 12 on the school building during our normal hours. We're open 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Mondays and Tuesdays, and we're open 10 to 6 Wednesday through Saturday, and we are closed on Sundays. Tomorrow may be a little bit of fun with some of this. We will keep everyone as much posted as we can, and we have no real closings or delays at this point. But I did want to offer just a few things that we have going on and to let you guys know some new things that we're going to be starting very shortly. We are doing our Winter Checkout Challenge right now, which is an adult reading program in the winter that's kind of similar to what we do for the kids in the summer with summer reading. So if you enjoy prizes and reading activities and other fun things, this is for you. It's anybody 18 and older, and you can sign up online, or you can stop into any of our branches, including us over in the community building, and get a playing piece. Complete 5 activities And it does not have to be in an order because it's a square and it's not bingo. Any 5 activities, we'll get it for you. But when you sign up by taking one of our pieces, you get a lovely tote bag. We could all use another tote bag, right? And then if you complete it, we do have, while supplies last, and ours are unfortunately gone, but Forest Park and some others do have coffee mugs for completion. And then you can get entered for grand prize drawings, and there's some very nice ones, and that's throughout the entire library system. So it's not like every branch will be giving away these prizes, but if you don't play, you can't win. Also, tax season is upon us. Did you know that ours haven't arrived yet, but we will be having print tax forms. We can also go on to IRS website, state website, local website, and we can get you any tax forms that you need, a copy of them. Any form is free. We also offer free printing now, 20 pages a day for anybody. So if you need other things or you want to make some copies after you filled out your taxes, we can help with all of that. And anything over the 20 is 15 cents for black and white, 25 cents for color. And so there will also be some tax help available at select library locations, not at Greenhills, but North Central is not far. But the spaces are limited, so if you have any interest in that, go onto our website, chpl.org, or give us a buzz, and we will be more than happy to make sure that you get the information so you can register. We also have new programs that we're starting up, or just started not long ago. We have a new book club. We still have our 3 original. This will be number 4. But we're going to be starting romance readers on Saturday, February 11th at 11 a.m. So if you want to stop in, we're going to be doing a book called Book Lovers, and we have copies of it available for checkout at any point, and we will meet and talk about that, and we're hoping to kick that off monthly going forward. And then we also have a classic movie club, so if you like your flicks and a little less on the really thick books, we pick a movie each month, and we meet on the 3rd Saturday at 11 a.m. for that one. And we watch the movie ahead of time and then meet to talk about it, and that started back in October. So this will be our 5th meeting, I believe, and it's showing a lot of interest, and we would love to have everybody feel free to come and join us. We also have, coming this Saturday, is all-day puzzles and pretzels. Well, I have pretzels that last if they all get eaten. But we will have jigsaw puzzles, we'll have little word games. It's for all ages. Just stop on by, play, put a few pieces in, or help us fill in the whole puzzle, or, find your word search, or whatever game or puzzle you all are into. We'll be happy to make sure that we get you the game that you would like to play, and have a little bit of a snack, and 10 a.m., 6 p.m. We also have a presentation for adults on crystals and minerals that's going to be led by Dennis Murphy from the Cincinnati Mineral Society, and he's going to have all kinds of examples of different crystals and talk all about all of their scientific properties and what makes them, unique as they form, and he'll have all kinds of examples for us to pass around and see. So that's going to be a very interesting one. We did just yesterday have a UC Classics program, which was on Pompeii. And I'm hoping to have another one of those, a history lecture in April. Haven't got that date quite nailed down yet, but we usually have a lecture of some kind, and then we've got all kinds of other programs for all ages. Our story times are still on Monday at 10:30 a.m. We have also got a chess club that meets on the first Tuesday at 6:30, and that's for all ages and all abilities. So if you don't know how to play chess, you can come and get some basic. And if you enjoy chess, you might be able to get some play in with some new people and make some new friends. And that's pretty much all I've got, but we're busy and continuing to have really strong, anybody who'd like to come from the community, we'd love to see you. And if it's been a little while, we'll just sort out whatever's going on, make sure we get your card updated, and you're good to go, and we're here for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yep. All right, we have no public hearings. Reports of municipal officials. Yvonne Kovac.
Thank you, Mayor. The only legislative item we have tonight is approving our mowing services contract with Grounds for Grow. Again, I think I mentioned at our last meeting, they were our only bid, but they gave us a good bid. And so your resolution tonight would allow me to, would authorize me to go ahead and execute the agreement with them for the upcoming mowing season. Let's see, I also want to mention that the aggregation opt-out letters, we do now know that they will go out on January 30th, so early February, our residents will begin receiving those letters. Again, if you are already in the program or want to be in the program, you don't have to take any action at all. It's only if you don't want to be in the program. Although I don't know why you wouldn't want to be in the program. It's very good. So anyway, look for those letters early in February. And otherwise, the only other thing I do want to mention is the forecast for tonight. Who knows what will really happen? But I guess I would encourage anybody, if you have a driveway, please take your cars off the street. The more cars you line up on the driveway, the less shoveling you'll have to do in your driveway.
That's true.
And it will really help the trucks as they're out late at night shoveling snow, so. that's all.
And it will help you so your car doesn't get plowed in on the street.
There you go, yeah.
Right. Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Law Director Jeff Forbes.
Thank you, Mayor. Really nothing to report tonight. The village is not involved in any pending legal actions, and there still hasn't been any real activity at the state level of any bills of municipal interest, but we'll continue to watch.
Okay. All right. Clerk of Council Teresa Lawley.
Nothing to report, Mayor.
Okay. Chief of Police Neil Furman. I'm sure you've got something.
He's got it.
One or two things. I think the most fun that we had all year came towards the end of the year when we took several Greenhills families out for Shop with a Cop, our annual event. We partnered with our schools, and the administrators picked out some kids that they knew that were really of need, and they turned out they were kids that probably wouldn't have had Christmas without a little assistance. We spent spent good time with the kids and spent a little money on them. It was not taxpayer money or any of Greenhills money. It came from our very generous residents who have donated over the past year to our community fund. So we were able to put some really nice smiles on a few kids' faces. One of the kids' moms wrote to us, and it was an excellent thing to receive. She said, this is one child, she named him, and another child's auntie. She said, I wanted to send you a couple of the pictures that I took, as well as saying a huge thank you to you and the officers at Greenhills PD. The boys had the best time of their lives, and that's a quote. They have talked about it many times, even after Christmas. They both enjoyed their time immensely. We can't wait to come tour the station. Thank you for including my boys in your generosity. We are blessed to have you as neighbors, protectors, and friends. God bless you. We had just as much fun with them as they had with us. We went just a couple of days before Christmas, so we had to go, since our local Walmart store is no longer with us, we had to go to the Myers store down the road. And a couple days before Christmas, the lines were almost to the back of the store. So we had a long wait with those kids, and I think we made some lasting friendships. We offered to have them come back for personalized tours of the police department and of the cruisers, and they get to operate some blue lights and sirens. So we're looking forward to having a little more fun with them. And speaking of kids, we were in our local school on Farragut Road even before Christmas and then after Christmas. We had a card shower that we received from the kids that covered completely a door in our operations room. And we spent time with them after Christmas as well, and just had a blast with them. And we also enjoyed that trip as much as the kids did. On a little bit more serious note, we've had two crimes that have been vexing us as well as the rest of the country. But our mailbox located in front of our shopping center has now been targeted at least twice. So we're working on some things to hope to surprise the thieves at some point. But until then, we really urge people. I can't imagine that you would mail something that's unimportant. So our recommendation is that you take the extra time and travel the extra few minutes to the Northland Boulevard Post Office in Forest Park to ensure that your mail does actually get there. And for those of you that aren't exactly familiar with what happens, the thieves will use a master key that has been stolen. There was just another theft
last week in suburban Cincinnati. They will take out and look for checks, probably discarding most of the rest of the mail. But our resident, for example, mailed a check on Christmas Eve, and it was for $1,000, and they erased the name and laundered the name on that check, and then put a 1 in front of the 1,000 and made it for $11,000 that was subsequently cashed. So it's a very serious problem that doesn't seem to have an immediate solution, so we urge you to avoid that little blue mailbox until there is such a solution. The other is an ongoing crime that we've had in our neighborhoods, and this highlights the need for our residents to please lock your cars and don't leave valuables in plain sight or even in them at all. Almost all of these thefts have involved unlocked cars, and unbelievably we have had thefts involving from everything from firearms to technology items such as small computers and iPads to billfolds and credit cards. So we ask residents please not to leave their valuables in their cars. We have updated our schedule for 2023 of some of the fun things we're going to be doing. The first event is on March 18th. That'll be down at Foster's at the Troubadour. It is our Coffee with a Cop. We hope that you'll be able to get out. That's a Saturday morning. Hope you'll be able to get out and join us for breakfast. Secondly, on May 20th, right here in this building, we'll have our open house. Again, it was a lot of fun last year, and we are looking forward to that again. Yvonne will be setting dates upcoming for the spring and summer months for Park Talks, and we'll be participating in those. We are going to have another game time with GPD. That was a big success last year with, I think, close to 100 people attending. So that'll be on Saturday, June 10th. We'll be doing our Cooking with the Cops on National Night Out. Fair warning, Mr. Lee, I'll be twisting your arm again to come join us and help us. You're almost invaluable to
I'm
that.
booked a year in advance.
I understand. And we'll be out at Harvest Fest and Light Up as well. We do have a couple programs that are on demand at the request of some citizens. That includes our defensive tactics course, active shooter course, and our Citizens Police Academy. And speaking of training, we did receive, we had a golden opportunity to receive training from a national trainer. I received this training at the FBI Academy in Quantico a number of years ago, but Dr. Kevin Gilmartin, who's known across the nation as a nationally recognized law enforcement trainer, taught on emotional survival for police officers and their families. The training was free, and it was about a mile down the road at the Great Parks Mill Race Banquet, and we were able to get 4 of our officers into that training. In terms of our crime statistics, we made 13 criminal arrests, including charges for aggravated assault, criminal damaging, disorderly conduct, operating under the influence, possession of drugs, and failure to appear. We responded to 153 incidents, including 19 squad runs, 11 intrusion alarms, 10 thefts, 8 domestic trouble runs, 7 parking complaints, 7 warrants served, 6 trouble runs, and 6 lockouts. We provide mutual aid to our neighbors in 13 instances. We issued 28 traffic citations, 26 warnings, and investigated 10 traffic crashes. So I've saved the best news for last. And this hasn't been announced publicly yet because it was just approved by the manager this afternoon. Your fellow council member, Maria Walther-Willard, got the ball rolling during the last council meeting by presenting a check from the American Legion Ladies Auxiliary for $1,000, and then she matched it with a personal donation of her own. I had an unexpected week off earlier this year, and worked the phones and the email a little bit, and we rounded up some additional donations to the tune of another $10,000. Wow. So with that money, our municipal manager today approved a quotation for $11,550 that will buy LifePak CR2 automatic AEDs. We'll have those equipped in every one of our marked police cruisers. We'll have one in the lobby, and I believe the manager is going to use some recreation funding for one at our swimming pool. This will undoubtedly save the lives of our residents. So we thank you for getting the ball rolling, and we're so grateful to have this approved. Thank you, Madam Mayor.
That it?
Yes, sir.
All right, good job. And we're glad you have recovered from your unplanned vacation.
Me too.
All right, and I've got court receipts for the month of December. State of Ohio received $741.50, Hamilton County $28.50, and the Village of Greenhills $3,089.50. These are from mayor's court fines. And that's all I have. Okay, we have reports of committees, safety, and Melanie Hermes.
I guess I'm going to do kind of a joint little committee meeting report. The safety committee met with the finance committee today along with the volunteer fire department personnel. Their contract ends at the end of this year, and we are excited to get a new contract with them, but we didn't want to wait till the last minute. So we met today just to have some discussions to figure out where they're at, their needs, our needs, just to have the discussion going and getting ahead for the new contract for next year. So we met today at 6, and we were done shortly before this meeting. So we do not have our next meeting scheduled yet, but we had one tentatively scheduled for February, but we'll reassess if we still need that meeting after we met with the finance meeting this month.
I have something to add for the safety. I knew the fuse was getting shorter and shorter about the dependency fund for the widows and orphans for our fire department. And they had a new system. Nothing came in the mail to be filled out. Nothing came to be together. I'm directing my look directed to you because you are one of the ones that signed together with me. So I did a run in different places where I knew the people that were naming there, and I got the email addresses and the names to fill that out. It was submitted online. I was accepted, and one copy for the fire department, and that was done yesterday. And it was almost like 24 hours before the deadline. And we were waiting for something in the mail, and it never came. So I went ahead and called. It was the Department of Commerce, and I asked Augie if he would do that, or if I could do that, and so that's what it got it done. So your signature is, your name is there, your email address is there, the signatures were not required.
I'm
Okay,
good.
just
I'm
wanted
good.
to-
I'm good with that. That's
You're
fine.
good with that, okay.
Good. All right, recreation, cable television, you have anything?
No, we need to schedule another meeting.
Okay. All right, service and streets, Jennifer Osmonoglu.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. I just want to thank the streets the streets department for getting the streets clean again, and I guess you're going to be busy tonight and tomorrow, probably. We will get a meeting on the books for February. So we'll just have to schedule. Thank you.
All right, intergovernmental affairs, laws and rules, Maria Walther.
We haven't met this year yet. We had a tentative meeting for February, so it depends if there are issues or anything added to it. I wanted to shout out to for the services and streets and the manager because of the service, the ground service, the pro that we have hired, and they did such a good job in the past contract. So I'm very happy that we were able to retain them. And also the tremendous service for our crew cleaning the streets. And please, please, trust me, it would save you so much aggravation not having to shovel your snow in your driveway. If you have 3 or 4 cars tightly put on that driveway, and then our crew can go and clean the whole street, and you will not be buried in there. So please just be proactive about this storm that is coming up. We appreciate it greatly. Thank you.
Community development, Jeff Halder.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The only thing I wanted to bring up is I do believe we'll be bringing back beautification awards again coming up. And we are trying to encourage care of property, pride in property. I have seen a couple people that are out there picking up trash already. Once that snow melts, you see a lot of stuff. I'd encourage everyone to just, even policing your own area and home goes a long way in making the village look good. That concludes, and we will be putting together a schedule once we get back with Rachel on the next meeting time.
Okay. Finance and Audit, Jack Lee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Just to follow up on Melanie's report, we jointly met with Melanie concerning the fire department issues. I don't have the December highlights to pass out to you because Deb is very much involved in year-end, so we'll have a complete picture for you sometime in the month of February. So, okay, that's the end of my report.
All right. Okay, this is an opportunity for residents and non-residents to make comments solely regarding the legislation that's on the current agenda. Non-residents must obtain prior permission. This is the time for citizens to comment on legislation listed on the agenda for this session of council. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and state your comments. Comments will be limited to 40 minutes. Anybody wants to comment on the legislation? Okay, all right. We have no unfinished business. New business, resolution number 2023-R01-SNS. Authorizing the municipal manager to enter into an agreement with Grounds Pro LLC. Osmonoglu?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Resolution 2023-R01-SNS, authorizing the municipal manager to enter into an agreement with Grounds Pro LLC. Whereas the Village of Greenhills advertised for competitive bids for mowing and garden bed maintenance. And whereas Grounds Pro submitted a proposal in response to the advertisement for bids, and Village Council desires to enter into a contract with Grounds Pro for said services. Now therefore be it resolved by the Council of the Village of Greenhills, Ohio, Section 1, that the municipal manager is hereby authorized to accept the proposal and enter into an agreement with Grounds Pro for mowing and garden bed maintenance services for 2023. Section 2, that the finance director is authorized to make payments to Grounds Pro in the amount of approximately $38,000 annually. Said amount may vary only at the direction of the village to perform other services. Section 3, that this resolution shall take effect and be in full force from and after the date of its passage. Mr. Mayor, I move to adopt this resolution.
Second.
Okay, it's been moved and seconded. Any comments? All right, hearing none, clerk poll the council.
Mr. Lee?
Aye.
Ms. Hermes?
Aye.
Ms. Osmonoglu?
Aye.
Ms. Walker?
Aye.
Mr. Halter?
Aye.
Okay, resolution number 20,
Yeah, well, that's next.
Oh, okay.
You're good.
okay, resolution number 2023-R01-SNS passes. Okay, do we have any comments from council people tonight?
We need to look at dates for the retreat.
Right, well, we
Okay.
still need to see where we are
Okay.
with money, so that'll probably be another month or so.
Okay.
Mine is just an FYI. I got a text that the Wittenwood City Schools will be closed tomorrow, Wednesday, January 25th, 2023. So just so you're aware, Wittenwood Schools are closed tomorrow.
Okay,
Okay.
anybody? All right, municipal calendar? Nothing?
Nothing.
Okay, all right. Now's an opportunity for residents and non-residents to appear before council. Non-residents must obtain prior permission. This is the time for citizens to comment on matters before council. When recognized, please come forward to the podium, give your name and address, and state your comments or questions. If you have questions, the questions will be recorded and referred to the manager's office for a response. This will allow time for thoughtful and thorough consideration to be given to each question. Council meetings are recorded for ease of transcription. Comments are limited to 4 minutes. Speakers may not yield any or all of their time to other speakers.
Don't start the clock yet. I have things to pass out. I don't know if it's getting to, but definitely you. Finance, I don't know if you can share that.
Okay.
I don't have enough.
Jen and I can share.
Okay.
I can look out with him if you need
And I
to
need
keep
one for myself.
Yeah.
Okay.
Could you sign that sign-in sheet for me?
I did.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, I'm Jennifer Nasser. I do not have my name on this. But last year, I went through a little piece of hell on July 4th. My neighbors had a giant party, and they blew off fireworks all day, all night, and they aimed them into my yard and onto my house. And I have pets. My little pets were terrified, and I was having total anxiety attacks, and I know I called the police several times. So, that's just my experience. I don't know about everybody else, but I know that I'd say 60 to 70% of households have animals. They have dogs and they have cats, and these fireworks are awful. So I got a handout here on indiscriminate. I'm asking you to stop indiscriminate fireworks. Indiscriminate is done at random and without careful judgment. Just everybody go wild, shoot them wherever you want. If you Google effects of fireworks on, it will fill it in for you. Too much information. It will say effects of fireworks on dogs and birds, cats, wildlife, animals, environment, bees, people, health. Why do Americans celebrate the July 4th? And I'm not an American, so I actually looked it up. And if I asked 90% of people, they probably wouldn't have a clue why they celebrate July 4th. And I looked it up, and it's because of becoming independent of Britain in 1776. And they changed their name from United Colonies and to the United States of America. That's July 2nd, 1776, becoming independent of Britain. That's when they wrote the Declaration of Independence. All men are created equal, endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights, unalienable rights cannot be given away, cannot be taken away or denied. That among these are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness, July 4th. By allowing indiscriminate, haphazard, dangerous, and obnoxious fireworks, you are putting people, animals, wildlife, bees, and the environment at risk, taking away our rights of peaceful living, liberty, and happiness. Freedom doesn't come in an unlimited way, allowing you to take away the freedom and rights of others. And I believe my freedom and rights were totally dismantled last year. And probably many others, that they just hunker down and deal with it. Okay, so they are being set off days before and after July 4th, indiscriminately and aimed at the roads or neighbors' homes, yards, landing on roofs, exploding like bombs and missiles, essentially terrifying all animals and wildlife. Animals and wildlife do not understand what these are. The litter and the paper afterwards, I picked it up for months afterwards in my yard. I called the police. I said, what am I supposed to do with all this litter in my yard that came from my neighbors? They said, well, why don't you write them a note? So I said, okay, I did. I wrote them a nice note, delivered it, and I found that note crumpled up and thrown at my door. So, the anxiety and fear and harm that is caused is immeasurable. The last page is a solution, and it's a brilliant solution. Our homes in Greenhills are attached or built less than 15 feet apart. It would be much safer to restrict fireworks to an open area such as the old golf course or the commons with careful control of the event.
Okay.
This would reduce the risk of damage to neighboring properties
Okay.
or people.
Okay.
If you could consider this, it would be in a controlled manner in one area. And I know last year the police were so busy.
Time's up.
My
Sorry.
time's up.
Thank you.
And will you be discussing this as a matter? Somebody? Will it be for discussion?
Some committee will probably look into it, although the state, I don't know if you want to comment about the state law that takes
Sure.
place.
Well, sure. I mean, the state law changed last year, just in time, I think, for the 4th of July last year, that now it is legal for people to set off fireworks in the state of Ohio.
It's legal?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and just to address a couple of the points you made, and again, this is from the state law. You're actually allowed to, it says exactly what days you're allowed to do it. And it's July 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and the Fridays, Saturday, and Sundays immediately before and after the 4th of July. I mean,
Oh, give me a break.
I mean, I'm just, I didn't write it, I'm just telling you what the state law provides. And it's not just that, it's Labor Day weekend, you know, New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. They have a whole list of holidays and exactly what days you're allowed to do.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
And so what are the restrictions? What's the parameters of letting off these missiles and bombs? What are the parameters?
Well, it's basically governed, at this point, it's governed by the state, and the state fire code talks about what, and I don't know enough about the, you know, it's 1.4 gram consumer fireworks. I don't know what that means, but people that are in that business, I guess, know what that means. But I will say, even under the state law, local jurisdictions do have some authority to further restrict it, but you have to take action if that's something you want to do. So it may be appropriate to discuss, you know, for a committee to discuss that or a work session. But you do have to work within the parameters.
It sounds
some of
like
the-
it would be our committee's safety and laws and rules.
Safety and laws and rules.
Okay.
Looks like it falls in that. And another item that we forgot to mention, what it does to the veterans. That they have been under that tremendous attack and now they're barely existing. And when that happens, they think they're under attack.
PTSD.
PTSD,
Okay.
correct.
Okay, do we have, that's it. We have anybody else who wants to address council? Thanks.
I would like to be a part of any discussion if that's possible.
Sure.
All meetings
All meetings are open.
Public and you're
If they
welcome.
have a discussion
Yeah.
regarding this.
Yeah, there's not a meeting that we can have other than executive sessions that you cannot attend. So you feel free to attend any meeting that you feel.
We may be able to keep the laws and rules and safety for February. And that would be on the 4th Tuesday of February before the council meeting.
All right, I'll keep in
Which
touch.
would be the 28th,
28, yeah,
Thank you.
and it'd be at probably 5:30.
yeah.
Or 6.
Monique Mason-Halter, Greenhills resident. Last month, I spoke at the meeting about a lawsuit filed against the Federal Communications Commission, FCC. A United States Court of Appeals for the District of Columbia Circuit ruled in favor of environmental health groups and petitioners that sued the FCC for not updating its 1996 safety limits for human exposure to wireless radiation. The court held that the FCC failed to respond to record evidence that exposure to RF radiation at levels well below the Commission's current limits may cause negative health effects unrelated to cancer, end quote. On November 1st, 2022, one of the lawsuit's petitioners, Children's Health Defense, announced it was seeking plaintiffs for lawsuits challenging cell towers and small cells in neighborhoods and Wi-Fi in schools. I bring this to your attention now because the Village Small Cell Facilities Ordinance is still not nearly as strong as ordinances passed by other local municipalities. It does not protect us from the irresponsible placement of wireless facilities and the installation of unneeded infrastructure. I'm going to read from the Children's Health Defense website about their lawsuits. Quote, Children's Health Defense is seeking plaintiffs for lawsuits challenging Wi-Fi in schools and cell towers and small cells in residential areas in an effort to protect children and other vulnerable populations from harmful levels of radio frequency radiation exposure. Our litigation efforts aim to protect children and other vulnerable populations, including pregnant women, from harmful levels of RF radiation exposure. To be a plaintiff in our case challenging Wi-Fi in schools, the children must be a junior in high school or younger. The child must attend a school with Wi-Fi access. The child must suffer adverse health effects from school Wi-Fi exposure. To be a plaintiff in our case challenging cell towers and small cells in residential areas, the family or family member must live near a cell tower or small cell. The family or family member must suffer adverse health effects from a cell tower or small cell exposure. End quote. There is a form that you can fill out on the Children's Health Defense website. Here's more from their website. Quote, RF radiation is a subset of electromagnetic radiation spectrum used by wireless communication technology. The rapid proliferation of wireless facilities and devices had led to an unprecedented rise in RF radiation levels, producing a myriad of health effects, including cancer and neurological, genetic, and reproductive damage. The wireless technology is a perpetual source of electromagnetic pollution. It continuously pulses artificial and biologically active electromagnetic energy into homes and schools, environments that ought to be safe for children and anyone else suffering from pre-existing health conditions and disabilities. Children spend approximately a third of their day at school. Despite established negative health effects of Wi-Fi exposure, children are constantly bombarded with high levels of RF radiation from sources such as wireless access points, smartphones, tablets, smartboards, and more in the classroom. Detrimental levels of RF exposure do not end when a child returns home. Dozens of cell towers and small cells can now be found in each neighborhood around the country. The cumulative effect of multiple sources of exposure is not accounted for by the FCC in its exposure guidelines and only compounds the threat to human health. Individuals living near cell towers are at a higher risk of developing health conditions such as neurological problems, radio frequency sickness, and cancer. I ask you again to please strengthen our small cells facility ordinance. Thank you.
Anyone else? Okay. And meeting adjourned.